Okay, this video is about Fruitarian Superpowers, and we're going to be focusing only on mainly on sight.
Yeah.
What else?
Smell.
Smell and
Clear thinking.
clear thinking. This is not the only three superpowers that come with the Fruitarian diet, but
Yeah.
let's get right into it. So, the first superpower.
Yeah, definitely. Like the longer you're on the fruit-based diet, the more in touch you get with all your senses. You know, your smell clears up a little bit, maybe due to sinus congestion going away, or maybe it's just, you know, you're more sensitive to smells and more in tune with that side of your body and able to identify what's good and what's not based on smell.
So, what is that? Tell me, why is it that the sinuses clear up, and why is it that the body sort of starts to give you the superpower of increased
smell? Well, like sinuses get cleared up probably because of the cleansing properties of fruit. You know, your lymphatic system gets more kicked into action and is more productive and more efficient at clearing out mucus in your body and toxins in your lymphatic system, and your kidneys filter a little bit better. Your body's just more adapt to cleanse and detox when you're eating a fruit-based diet, so that would definitely help with scent and sinuses and stuff like that. And then I think you're more in touch because, like, if you're eating what you're meant to eat, your senses aren't thrown off or hijacked. You know, when you're eating something you're not meant to eat, it's sort of like salt, for an example, is really addictive, and it throws off your sense of taste, and you might overeat because it tastes so good.
Right.
But if you're more in touch with that, you can more easily identify what's meant for your body, and things aren't being manipulated the way they are with foods outside of our proper diet.
So, would you say that two people, same age, same genetic construction, one on an omnivorous diet, another one on a fruitarian diet, they're walking down a forest, there's a mango tree 200 yards, you think that the fruitarian one will be able to
9
catch
times
that?
out of 10, yeah, they'll sniff it out before the omnivore probably.
Yeah, so that's a superpower, right? Yeah. So what's the next one? We said sight?
Eyesight, yeah. I mean, I've heard of John Rose, for an example, talks about the fact he's 20-year raw vegan or something like that. He says he has better eyesight now at age 50-something than he did when he was in his 20s. Lots of people have, you know, gotten rid of their glasses or contacts that they wear because of a fruit-based diet.
Wow.
I think that just goes into the healing benefits again of fruitarianism. Most people think if they wear glasses since they were a child that it's just something's wrong with their genes or their eyes, and that's all there is to it, but they don't realize that that's something that they can fix with a fruit-based diet or fasting.
So again, you would say that if you put a fruitarian versus a non-fruitarian and you have them read those charts at the optical...
Yeah, I mean, maybe a long-term fruitarian would probably have better eyesight at a comparable age to an omnivore.
Yeah, interesting. Well, what about clear thinking?
Clear thinking, I mean, that one's a tough one to talk about the actual mechanisms that go into it, but definitely most people on a fruit-based diet talk about the difference in mental clarity that they get from eating just fruit. Maybe the digestive energy, you know, because less energy is required to digest the food, that energy can be reallocated towards brain power, or maybe it's just if you're eating low fat, then that does something to your brain chemistry. Who knows?
Well,
you know, some people say it's a bad thing that, you know, you have that light, breezy, up in the clouds feeling in your head. That's some sort of deficiency that's causing that, right?
Well, we do know that the human body is highly electric, and the organ that requires the most electricity is, of course, the brain.
Yeah.
Right, and the brain runs on sugars, so the more sugars we add into our intake, the more power there'll be.
Fruit is the highest vibrational food. I mean, when you eat food, you're literally interacting with your environment. You're consuming the vibrational energy, so it would make sense that would have an impact on how you think or how you feel or how your senses behave, stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, there's another thing also in terms of the clear thinking, the brain power that comes with the fruitarian diet, and that's that, you know, the brain is made out of cells, and cells, as Dr. Robert Morse explains, you know, the cells take in energy and they sort of poop out waste, right? And if our lymphatic system is all clogged up with animal products and other toxins, then the cells up here are gonna be sick and toxic versus if we clean up the lymph and we allow that the cells to be able to detox, then there's gonna be more.
Yeah, I've read about other superpowers that are real superpowers.
Wow.
That
flying, for example.
Like if you're a long-term, raw vegan and you're doing it the right way, and certain factors all fall into place. I'm not totally sure, but people say that you can talk to plants, telepathically.
Wow.
You're more in touch with animals and plants. You can sort of like, it's a God-given right that we have as humans to be able to telepathically communicate and communicate with plants and animals in the same way. But through, like sinning and screwing up our diet in other ways, we've lost that ability.
That's interesting you bring this up, because one of the first books that I read when I was getting into Fruitarianism was Return to the Brain of Eden. And in that book, they talk about how, according to the research, we human beings, hundreds of thousands of years ago, we were tree, forest dwellers, and we were eating mostly fruit. And back then, we had sort of all this, what we call like superhuman abilities, like telepathy.
Sixth sense.
Yeah, sixth senses, telepathy, things like that nowadays are much more rare. And they did all sorts of studies, and they found that it's very likely that eating a high fruit diet sort of allows us to have these. Well, now we call them superpowers, but back then maybe were just intrinsic abilities of the human being that we had. And there's this whole story about proteins and the steroids that come with the animal products and the proteins. So yeah, I think it's definitely worth looking into, and I really wish that there were more fruitarians and more scientists and researchers interested in this, because how awesome would it be if we could all go back to our superpower or / natural
talk
ability.
just over mind.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to make YouTube videos.
No, we just have to somehow telepathically, transmit our ideas to our viewers.
Thanks for watching.